Malcolm. All right, we are ready to start the day's proceedings. 29 minutes past 9 exactly. Let's make sure that our cell phones are on silent. Let's make sure we don't disturb the proceedings. Thank you.
Good morning, Ms. Sello.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, Commissioners. Commissioners, today we start a new stream, but before we do so, there is before you two applications in respect of two witnesses for their testimony to be heard in partial camera. In anticipation of the respective orders being granted, we've taken the liberty of naming one witness N and witness O, and we're just simply following the order of the witnesses thus far in camera. I will start with the first witness, which is the witness N in camera application. You should have before you two bundles, one for witness N and the other for witness O. Please don't look at the spine. I learned that it is mislabeled as statement, but it's actually the in-camera application. Should be the only two files before you. Now, if we turn our attention to witness N's application, at the get-go, I must disclose to you, Commissioners, that the application was served out of the prescribed time period. And we start by asking for condonation for the late filing of the application. It was filed, as I understand, yesterday morning, eventually, scheduled for Wednesday evening, but for reasons that are not immediately necessary for the moment, it was filed yesterday morning. It was duly received by the press, and there's been no indication of any opposition to the application. So first and foremost, we would like to apply for condonation. The basis for the
please repeat what you are saying about the evening, because you say service was in the morning, and then you said something.
I said it had been due for service the Wednesday evening.
Oh,
and actually the service was effected only yesterday morning. So there are different reasons for the late service of these respective applications. In respect of witness N, the witness was scheduled to testify in person. If then I may turn to the actual affidavit to explain the circumstances that led to this application being moved. And for that purpose, I would like to refer you to page 5 from paragraph 5. This witness is a adult female and member of the PKTT team currently deployed in the Eastern Cape to investigate matters relating to the University of Fort Hare. So that's her main assignment, and that's where she has been. During the course of investigations, through an intermediary, she was approached and informed of a complaint from members of the public relating to a specific senior investigator at IDAC in the Eastern Cape. She was approached because of the trust reposed in members of the investigating team in the Fort Hare matter. She took the matter up and investigated and concluded that the concerns expressed warranted further investigations. She registered an inquiry and proceeded with the investigations. Her challenge now becomes, because she is part of a bigger team investigating a much broader issue, the Fort Hare issues, the disclosure of her identity, both physical in terms of her pictures and images, and her name, risks the inadvertent disclosure of her team members in the entire Fort Hare investigation. Their success thus far is based in large part on the fact that they are quote-unquote anonymous and they are able to access the community, and those who want to provide evidence insofar as Forte is concerned are comfortable to approach them and be seen with them. She, as part of the investigating team, is protected by members of the NIU and TRT and is always in their company. The disclosure of her face and her identity will by definition extend to the members of her protection team. That would require the PKTT to replace almost the entire team that has been seen in her presence and reconstitute the team for the purposes of her investigations. Her employers expressed serious concerns with that and the unintended impact on the original investigation for which she is tasked, and requested whether her identity could be withheld, but her testimony in no way will it be curtailed by these issues. So the application is that she testify virtually, remotely. Her voice will not be distorted, her name will be withheld, and her images will not be distributed. And that is the application insofar as witness N is concerned, Chair.
Paragraph 6, having said everything that you've said, do you think paragraph 6 is necessary? Of the notice of application or notice of...
Of the notice or of the affidavit, Chair?
Of the notice, Even seven.
I agree with you.
It looks
overly
like
broad. It defeats the very purpose of the application being made now. Her testimony is not subject to any non-disclosure, and her transcript would be freely available as any other, except under the new name of witness N.
It seems.
Absolutely, Chair.
You simply used a precedent. I assume.
Yeah, that's the risk of precedence, huh?
Yes.
And judging by what the chair says, that must be a problem that afflicts the next application, but we'll deal with it at the time when the time comes.
I take it you'll report yourself then.
I'm happy to report myself, Commissioner, as long as I know what for. Misconduct.
I will do as I always do in these applications. I'm not going to rattle off what you have in the notice of application. I'll just say the application is granted, and then you will furnish me with a draft order for me to have a look at, and then the commission secretary will sign it.
As I understand, the draft order has been presented and should be in your bundle.
Let's finalize all of that.
As soon as I have disposed of both applications, we shall make the respective.
For your present purposes, application granted.
I'm indebted today.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next application then is in respect of witness O, following the order of things. Today, the commissioners will actually hear evidence from four witnesses. 3 witnesses cover the same issues, but they play different roles. The application the chair has just granted in respect of witness N is a separate issue. Now we are left with the other 3. Of the 3, 2 will be present in the auditorium to testify. These are investigators into an issue that had arisen some time back, but their investigations were triggered by a whistleblower. So effectively, the facts they relied upon to initiate the investigation are, for your purposes, we concluded hearsay. The original whistleblower is prepared to testify to confirm the correctness of the reports she had made to the investigators and any documentary evidence she may have given in support of her report. That whistleblower, however, is a member of SAPS, is currently in service, and has got serious personal concerns. One is she was eventually persuaded to report the matter, but only as a whistleblower, to enjoy the benefit of anonymity while shedding light on the concerns there may be. Her disclosure was then initiated in terms of the Protected Disclosures Act, and her name has not been circulated or published in any manner. She would like to assist the Commission to provide the necessary evidence, but would prefer that the anonymity extends. Since she reported the matter, she has had no negative reaction from, in particular, her seniors and her colleagues within the SAPS environment. She fears that if her identity is now disclosed, she may suffer pushback and some level of occupational detriment, including intimidation or any other that may eventually affect her employment. Her request is for the Commission to extend the protection afforded her by the Protected Disclosures Act and as a whistleblower, and not require her to disclose either her name or her physical identity. And it is on that basis that she moves the application for an in-camera. If the commissioners are inclined to grant it, the idea is that she, as with witness N, will be testifying virtually, remotely. Her voice will not be distorted. It is accepted that those people who are impacted by her evidence will know who she is. And that has always been the case, even during the stage of investigation. But the broader SAPS community doesn't know who she is, and that is what she is quite desirous to retain. And that is the sole basis for why she is in camera. She will take any questions that the commissioners may have for her, particularly because the investigators significantly relied on her own documentation and report. As long as the questions do not run the risk of disclosing her identity within the SAPS environment. That is the second application and the basis for moving it. And equally, it's partial in camera. And she's scheduled, I think, sometime today in the afternoon.
I didn't hear you apply for condonation. Must I assume that
yes,
service was...
Service was late, and if the chair has regard to the notice of motion, once again we are
I do see it's signed 9 July.
Yes, thank you for bringing it to my attention. Yes, the late delivery of this particular application was a delay in determining whether or not her evidence is wholly necessary before this commission, or whether it is sufficient for the investigators to run with the whistleblower report she had made. Some issues for clarification became apparent, and neither investigator could speak to those issues. She was quite reluctant to place herself on this platform, and it took some persuasion. And I think she was only the day before yesterday or yesterday finally persuaded with the necessary level of support to present herself before you. So this is a sort of a late determination to present this witness. But now we find ourselves in a position where her presentation of her testimony has got this attendant difficulties. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Law.
Mr. Law, if you would perhaps just clarify where you speak about persuasion, that she was persuaded. It's capable of an understanding that you may, or the commission may have gone out fishing for a witness to come and testify. If you could just explain
Yes,
that part.
indeed. No. Thank you, Commissioner Balu. To the contrary, the evidence leaders worked with the investigators. They have got their docket relating to that particular investigation. But the underlying cause of investigation was the whistleblower's report. The report is available, as I understand it, but there are certain issues around the events on which she blew the whistle that would require engagement with her, and it became necessary to consult with her. The consultation itself was not an issue to clarify. The question that arose was, in light of some facts not contained in the original report, can the investigators purport to give clarity on that? And it was determined that perhaps her appearance before yourselves would serve to clarify all factual issues surrounding the incident, and therefore enable the investigators to act in the manner they did. The persuasion was in relation to her giving clarity directly to the commission, because that required that she appear. Does she stand by her report? Absolutely. Does she stand by everything the investigators did? At her instance, she does. She was just interested in retaining the anonymity and not be known that she was the instigator of the entire investigation. As I indicated, both investigators would, in essence, if they speak to some fact that they learned from her through engagement and consultations which they did, but that is not reflected in the original report she made, would basically be testifying on the basis of hearsay. To cure that, it was considered that if she avails herself to deal with all material facts around that issue, then any hearsay that would have been testified to by either investigator would be cured by her own appearance. So persuasion was not because she was hunted down or sought by the evidence leaders. Her identity, her name, and her report was always available. It was a question of how are those facts presented to the commission. Thank you.
Thank you.
So it was more an issue of how anonymity would be maintained.
Indeed.
That's
indeed.
all.
That's all.
No reluctance at all with regard to the content of the testimony. There she was prepared to testify.
Yes.
But how do you make sure that my identity will not be disclosed?
And that's the only basis, as I say, for which she moves the application.
Thank you.
And I wanted to add, Advocate Silla, that she was willing to give the statement, the issue of anonymity related to her appearance.
Good afternoon, all. We are ready to start the afternoon session. It's 13:59. Please make sure that your devices are quiet. Thank you.
Do I now? Oh,
Yes, it's still me, Chair.
oh, it's still you.
Yes. Chair, the next witness is witness O, who who has been identified to us as the Colonel by the other two witnesses, and she will be giving evidence in partial camera. Witness O, are you there? Thank you. Chair, the witness will take the oath.
Good afternoon, witness O.
Afternoon, Chair and Commissioners, all protocol observed.
Do you swear that the evidence you are going to give is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth? If so, please raise your right hand and say, "So help me God."
So help me God.
Thank you. I forgot you. Let's start, Mr. Gilson.
Thank you, Chair.
I'm sure you know what I almost did there. I almost said, please state your full names for the record.
Witness O, I just want to confirm that you have in front of you two files. The one contains your statement, which should be until page 6, and then the other is an exhibit bundle.
It's correct.
Okay, do you confirm on page 6 of the statement that is your signature?
That's my signature.
And do you confirm the correctness of the statement at page 1 to 6?
I confirm the correctness thereof.
Okay. Witness O, we've been introduced to you by the other two witnesses as Colonel, so forgive us if we do refer to you as Colonel now and then. Could I ask you to start with your statement at paragraph 1, and as indicated, you don't need to say where you are currently deployed within SAPS.
Okay, thank you. I'm an adult female employed within the South African Police Service, formerly attached to the Crime Intelligence Division, and currently still employed in the SAPS with the rank of a colonel.
Continue.
Do I continue? Okay. The purpose of this statement is to inform the Commission of my personal involvement regarding an incident that occurred on 4 July 2018 involving Advocate Andrea Johnson and Major General Feroz Khan, and my subsequent disclosure of this incident to members of the Directorate for Priority Crime Investigation, also known as the Hawks. At the time of the incident, I held the rank of a captain.
Okay, the next topic is the incident on 4 July 2018. Please proceed.
On 4 July 2018, I was working in my office when Major General Khan, who was attending a meeting in the main boardroom, entered my office on the ground floor near the boardroom and handed me his cell phone and requested me to give my personal email address to the person he was speaking to on the cell phone. He said the person's name is Andrea. On the other end of General Khan's phone was a female. The conversation was brief and I could not immediately place the voice of the female caller. The female caller asked for my private email address and told me that I should give the contents of the email to General Khan. I gave her my email address. She told me that once I have given the contents of the email to General Khan, I must delete the email. I thought it was strange and a strange request, but I obliged. At 12:46, I received the email from an email address with the name Andrea Johnson.
You don't have to read it into the record, the email address. And then could I just ask you, you say that the female caller asked you to give the contents of the email to General Khan. Did she say how you should do that? In other words, must it be, should you email it? Should you print it? How would General Khan get the contents of the email?
I cannot recall now the exact words or exactly what she said, but I printed the email and gave it to him. I placed it in a white envelope
Okay.
And what do you mean when you say you obliged?
I gave my personal email address to the caller.
All right, thank you. I thought you meant you deleted.
No, I did not delete the mail.
Okay.
Thank you.
So when you say in paragraph 4 that you obliged, you're referring to the request to provide the contents of the email to General Khan?
Yes, and to give my private email address to her, yes.
Okay, thank you. And then paragraph 5.
Okay, the subject header was PETLE compliant. The following documents and audio file was attached to the email. Should I read it out?
No, you don't need to. Audio will go to those documents just for you to confirm that that is indeed what was attached to the email. But before that, when you saw the subject header, PETLE complaint, did you know what it related to?
Not at that stage. Only when I opened the files, I realized it related to an incident that occurred between Brigadier PETLE and General Khan.
Perhaps just a minor issue. The documents, or rather you itemize them under 5.1 to 5.13 of your statement. Please continue.
Thank you, Chair. And did you know a person known as PETLE?
Yes, I knew Brigadier PETLE. She was working under General Khan.
Okay. Then could I just ask you, you can continue with your...
Maybe before that, the person named Andrea that you ultimately speak to and eventually you're able to know who it is, before this telephone call, had you ever spoken to her?
Not personally, but I could not recall exactly when, but I did attend a meeting where she was also. And also I followed her on the TV when she covered the matter of Oscar Pistorius.
Okay, so you didn't have a personal relationship with her?
No, not a personal relationship.
Thank you.
Thank you. So can we then go to paragraph 6 of your statement?
The attachments consisted of 12 JPG photos and 1 audio file. The audio file is available if required. The above-mentioned material has been under my control since I received it on 4 July 2018. I did not delete the email. I realized that the person I had spoken to was Advocate Andrea Johnson, who was a senior prosecutor at the time and is currently head of the Independent Directorate of the National Prosecuting Authority, also known as IDAC.
Sorry, Witness O. Can I just ask you, why didn't you delete the email?
Well, I thought the request was strange. Why would you email something and then request to delete it? So I was thinking, I was cautious and I kept it.
When you say you realized that the person you had spoken to was Andrea Johnson, you realized this from the email itself?
From the email, yes. The email or her name appeared on the email.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. You can proceed with paragraph 7.
The attachments to the email from Advocate Johnson originated from the Gmail address from Mr. Barry Bateman, known to me at that time as a journalist. Mr. Bateman sent the email to Advocate Johnson at 18:05 on 3 July 2018 with the same subject header. I assisted General Khan.
Witness O, if you can, in the second file that you have, go to page 5, just to confirm. We have already dealt with it, but just for you to confirm for the record that this was the email.
I confirm that this is the email.
Are you on page 5?
On page 5, yes.
And you confirm that that was the email that you received from Advocate Andrea Johnson?
Yes, I see my private email address on top, so I confirm that this is the email I received.
And at the bottom of page 5 until page 8, actually page 10 I think it is, can you confirm that those were the attachments to the email?
I confirm that those are the attachments to the email.
And what were the attachments? The photos, what were they photographs of?
When I printed it, I realized that it seems like the contents of a docket. It looks like an A1 statement of Brigitte Mabandla.
Had you read the contents at the time?
No, I didn't. No.
Okay.
In that page 5 email, you confirm because that because the email address is not shown, it's been redacted for good reason. But you confirm that the email address of Andrea Johnson is not an NPA or SAPS email address.
Yes, I confirm that it's a Gmail address.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. You may continue.
I assisted General Khan by printing the contents of the email. There was nothing strange about this because at the time General Khan did not have his own support staff as yet, and I used to assist him with his administration together with another colleague of mine. What was strange was that the information was sent to my private email and I was instructed to delete the email thereafter. After I received the email from Advocate Johnson, I forwarded the email to my SAPS email address, printed the attachments, put the contents in a white envelope and gave it immediately to General Khan. Whilst I was printing the attachments, I realized that they were photos of the contents of a case docket and an audio file. I cannot remember whether I somehow gave the audio recording to General Khan.
Can I just ask you then if you could please go to page 8 of the bundle?
Okay.
And just to confirm that at the date there's an email from your Gmail account to another email address with your name, and is that the work email address?
At the time it was my work email address, yes.
Okay, and then the date and time is 4 July 2018 at 13:45.
No, it says
12:45, my apologies, 12:45. Correct?
Yes, correct.
Can go back to your, if we can then go to page 9, that is again the attachments till page 11 of the email.
Okay.
And then back to your statement at paragraph 10.
The email contained photos of the A1 statement of Brigitte Mabandla, a female crime intelligence officer who had made a criminal complaint against General Khan for an incident that occurred on 26 June 2018 at the Crime Intelligence Office. She had accused General Khan of assault and intimidation. What I know now is that the audio file contained a recording of parts of the incident between General Khan and Brigitte Mabandla. I was aware of the alleged assault and intimidation incident because on the day of the incident, General Khan came to our office and told my colleague and me about it. My colleague assisted General Khan.
Sorry, witness, do you recall what he told you had occurred?
Yes, when he came to our office, he indicated, I cannot now exactly recall the words, but it came down to he has put her in her place. But the way he explained it, it was out of his character for me.
Well, you say it was out of his character that the incident occurred?
Yes, and that he had this altercation with Brigitte Mabandla. I did not know him as a person that fights with other people.
Okay. Continue. Paragraph 11.
My colleague assisted General Khan with a draft of his statement in the alleged assault and intimidation matter. I know this because General Khan later came to me to commission the statement, which I did. I cannot remember whether my colleague and General Khan were already busy with the statement when I handed him the contents of Advocate Johnson's affidavit, but I know that they continued drafting the statement after I handed General Khan the white envelope.
Sorry,
I also
Witness
know
O,
that-
can we just make a correction there? When I handed him the contents of Advocate Johnson's email, not affidavit.
Okay, sorry, I'm making the correction. I will read the paragraph again. I cannot remember whether my colleague and General Khan were already busy with the statement when I handed him the contents of Advocate Johnson's email, but I know that they continued drafting the statement after I handed General Khan the white envelope. I also know that I commissioned the affidavit sometime after I handed General Khan the white envelope. I'm aware that it stated on General Khan's statement that it was commissioned at 12:30, but this is not correct. I only commissioned the affidavit after I handed the white envelope to General Khan, which would have handed to him shortly before 1 or at 1 o'clock at the latest. In support of this, I've looked at the properties information of the type statement, and I noticed that the document was modified at 13:33.
Okay, Witness, so if you can just pause there. There's a few things to deal with in that paragraph. So if you go to page 116 of the bundle.
Okay?
And until 118. Is that the statement that was prepared by General Khan on the 4th of July 2018?
I confirm it is, but not with this strikeout at the bottom here. I made a copy of this affidavit when I signed or when I commissioned it for myself.
Okay.
On my copy, there's nothing striked out.
Okay, you're referring on page 118. You confirm that is the affidavit, and you confirm that where it's the commission of oath, that is your signature.
I confirm that.
And what you're saying is that the time that is referred to there, where it says, I certify that the deponent has acknowledged that he knows and understands the contents of the statement which was sworn to before me, and he placed his signature in my presence in Pretoria on 2018-07-04 at 12:30. That is an incorrect time, because you say it would have been later, based on what you could see from when the properties of the document, which we will get to.
I confirm that. The time and date was already pre-typed when General Khan gave me the statement.
And this is important because of the time when Advocate Johnson sent the email to you. It was also after that, after 12:30.
Yes. I commissioned the statement after receiving the email.
Okay, and in support of that, you mentioned the properties of the document being the statement of General Khan, which we find on page 38 of the bundle. You can go there.
I confirm this is the last document. Date modified 2018-07-04, 13:33.
Okay, so what you're saying is that it follows that you would have only commissioned his statement after 1:30.
Yes.
Can we go back?
Sorry, before you move on, at that page 118, the affidavit, the strikeout that you say was not there when you commissioned this, there are initials next to, I suppose, verifying or confirming the strikeout. Does any of that scribbling belong to you?
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. We can go back to your statement.
Sometime later, the same day, I think, or a day later, General Khan gave the white envelope with the contents of Advocate Johnson's email back to me. I kept the envelope, and as stated above, I did not delete Advocate Johnson's email. I I do not have one specific reason for keeping the envelope and not deleting the email. The request just seemed suspicious, especially because Advocate Johnson asked for my personal email address and sent an email from her personal email address and asked me to delete the email thereafter. I kept the information and thought that if there was ever an investigation into the assault matter, that perhaps this would be relevant. But Brigadier Petley resigned sometime in 2020 and nothing became of the assault case. Other information, especially given the environment at Crime Intelligence at the time. I was also aware that Advocate Johnson's husband, Colonel Junaid Johnson, worked at Crime Intelligence and him and General Khan had worked closely together. A disclosure of this nature may have been detrimental to me. However, when Advocate Johnson was appointed the head of IDAC in early 2022, I started thinking about this incident again, and it troubled me all over again. At the time, members of the Hawks were placed at IDAC to investigate matters at Crime Intelligence. I approached them on condition that my identity would be protected. I informed them of the incident and that I prepared a statement setting out my recollection. I did so in August 2022. As far as I'm aware, the DPCI officers investigated the matter, but nothing has come of it.
Sorry, Witness O, just for confirmation, that statement of yours appears on page 1 to 4 of the bundle. If you can go to the exhibit bundle. Then the annexures thereafter, do you confirm?
1 to 4, sorry ma'am.
Page 1 to page 4 of the exhibit bundle. Page 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yes, I confirm this. This is my statement and my signature.
And this was the statement that you had submitted to the DPCI officers?
Yes, in 2022.
Okay, thank you. You can continue. Conclusion.
Okay, thank you. I'm confident that the person I spoke to on General Khan's phone on 4 July was Advocate Johnson, and that she's the person who sent me the email, instructed me to give the contents of the email to General Khan and delete the email thereafter. I do not know if Advocate Johnson and General Khan have any connection other than the fact that General Khan and her husband work together. In January 2020, I was invited to General Khan's 50th birthday party where Advocate Johnson and Colonel Johnson were also in attendance. I do not know if Advocate Johnson denies that she told me to give the contents of the email to General Khan and delete the email thereafter, but if she does so deny, she would have to explain why would she send the email to me, a person that she does not know. I trust that my testimony will be of assistance to the Commission and its work.
Thank you, Witness O. Chair, that is the evidence of this witness.
Witness O, in paragraph 15, where you say after Advocate Johnson was appointed head of IDAC in 2022, you started thinking about this incident again, and it troubled you all over again. Can you just explain a bit what is it about that would have triggered that concern when she got appointed?
I think because she was appointed to an important post, it concerned me, because if this was above board, she would have sent it at the time from her official email to my official email, and that for me was suspicious.
And did General Khan give you any explanation when he said you speak to her on the phone, why the email was being sent to you?
No, he did not give me an explanation.
Before and after?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you very much, Colonel. You are excused.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Commissioners.
Chair, we just need a short stand down to get witness N ready.
Let's adjourn. We'll hear from you.
We are ready to resume. Please make sure that your devices are off. Thank you.
Are our laptops supposed to be like that?
Chair, we've tested the connectivity and the audio with respect to the next witness, and it's clear.
Okay, maybe let's go on then. Yeah.
Chairperson, it seems Mr. Michaels is attempting to get visual for the witness.
Shouldn't we just maybe 3 minutes? We'll hear from you when this is sorted out.
Indeed, so thank you, Chair.
That's a Jan.
Witness N. Can you hear us? November, thank you.
Thank you.
Is Commissioner Barroy's screen going to be off?
Yes, it's off on my side.
Please mute yourself, witness N.
All right, take two. Let's begin.
Good afternoon, Ms. Mhlasari.
Good afternoon, Chairperson and Commissioners. We apologize for the mishap. The next witness is witness N, who's indicated that she will be taking the oath.
Good afternoon, witness N.
Good afternoon, Chairperson.
Do you swear that the evidence you are going to give is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth? If so, please raise your right hand and say, "So help me God."
So help me God.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Witness N, I would like to start off by confirming that you should have two white files in front of you. The one file should contain your witness statement as well as annexures, and there should be another larger file which contains the exhibit bundle. Do you confirm?
I confirm, Advocate.
Thank you. If I ask you to put the exhibit bundle aside, we will be working largely from the file containing your witness statement and annexures. Are you with it? Do you have that file nearby?
I do.
Thank you. The first 8 pages of that file contain your witness statement. Please confirm that that is your statement as prepared for purposes of your testimony before the Commission.
That is correct. I do confirm.
And you stand by its contents and affirm them to be true?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. And if you turn to the last page of your witness statement on page 8, do you confirm that the signature that appears there on page 8 is yours?
I confirm it's my signature.
Thank you. Witness N, I would invite you to turn to page 1 of your witness statement under the heading of introduction.
I'm there.
Thank you. You can start by, I'll invite you to read your statement, and at various points we'll ask you questions for clarification where necessary. But you could please start at paragraph 1.
Okay. I am an adult female employed by the South African Police Service as a detective. I hold the rank of a sergeant, and I am a member of the political killing SARS team deployed to the Eastern Cape province to investigate matters relating to the University of Fort Hare. In addition to my assignment to the PKTT, I am a detective in the KZN Anti-Corruption Unit, and my duties in this role include gathering comprehensive and complete evidence at the scene of crime and during the investigation of case dockets, gathering information and compiling of case dockets, maintaining and ensuring case docket management, recruiting and maintaining sources.
Thank you. Witness N, just to clarify with respect to paragraph 3, the duties you set out there, are they duties, general duties in your role as a detective, or are they specific to your assignment to the current task team you are a member of?
They are general duties to a detective, but they do summarize the mandate of the corruption unit.
As well as your
corruption unit.
As well as your current assignment.
That is correct.
Thank you. Can I invite you to turn to page 2 of your witness statement, and you can continue under the heading of overview, please.
In the course of my work, I am sometimes approached by the members of law enforcement, informers, and members of the public who want to report suspected criminal activity or otherwise disclose potentially unlawful conduct. I would then meet with these individuals, consider the information that they are sharing, and discuss with my superiors what steps I should take in relation to the information that I received. Towards the end of 2025, I received information concerning alleged criminal conduct on the part of Mr. Sunil Velochan, a senior investigator at the Investigating Directorate Against Corruption, which is known as IDAC.
Please continue.
The information contained in this statement remains under investigation, and I bring it forward in order to assist the Commission and for the Commission to determine whether it necessitates further direction by the Commission.
Thank you. Yes, please continue to paragraph 7 under the heading engagement with the complainant.
Paragraph 7 reads as follows. In December 2025, I was conducting investigations in the Eastern Cape when I was contacted by Mr. Neil. Mr. Neil was a director in the Department of Community Safety in the Eastern Cape. He was responsible for community police relations and is known to me as we had previously worked together on some criminal matters. Mr. Neil explained that he has been approached by a Mr. Asif Habib Muhammad, who is a Pakistan national. If I may add there, he has an RSA identity document, who complained that he, along with other Pakistani shop owners, were being extorted by a law enforcement officer. Mr. Neil further informed me that Mr. Asif Muhammad had been assaulted by the same law enforcement official earlier in 2025, and that despite laying a criminal complaint, Mr. Asif Muhammad had not been assisted. I agreed to sit down and talk to Mr. Asif Muhammad. In December 2025, an initial meeting was held between Mr. Neil, Mr. Asif Muhammad, members of the tactical response team, and I. At that meeting, Mr. Asif Muhammad informed me that he had been assaulted by his landlord, which is Mr. Sunil Velochan, on the 27th of September 2025. He explained that his landlord was a law enforcement officer and a member of IDAC. He said that during the assault, Mr. Velochan had punched him, leaving him with a bloody nose, loose teeth, and torn clothes. He provided a photograph he had taken of himself, displaying the injuries he said had been caused by the assault. This photograph is attached as X1.
Thank you, witness N. I'll just place on record that annexure X1 appears on page 1 of your annexure bundle. We won't flight that visual, but just for you to confirm that that is the image that was provided to you. Page 1 of your annexures.
Indeed.
Okay.
It is, Commissioners.
And perhaps for completion, can I inquire why in paragraph 10 that initial meeting was attended by members of tactical response team as well?
Commissioners, because I am always accompanied by members of combat, which happened to be the tactical response team on the day.
Thank you, witness N. You are at paragraph 11 on page 3.
Paragraph 11, Mr. Asif Muhammad explained that on the same day of his assault, he went to the East London police station and laid a criminal charge against Mr. Velochan for assault with the intent to cause grievous bodily harm. He further explained that on the same day, he received a telephone call from someone who said that they are calling from the East London police station. While he was still speaking to that person, Mr. Velochan could be heard shouting that Mr. Asif Muhammad must come back to the police station and that my police will deal with you. That is quoted from what he actually said.
Thank you, witness N. Please proceed.
Paragraph 13. Mr. Asif Muhammad shared that later that day he received an SMS from Mr. Belachin informing him that a case of fraud in the amount of 400,000 rands had been opened against him by Mr. Belachin. Mr. Asif Muhammad explained to me that he had lived at a property belonging to Mr. Belachin, believing that he would be safe living at a property belonging to a policeman. Instead, he was further subjected to more demands for money and that he witnessed the delivery of suspicious goods to the property, such as televisions, etc. I then cautioned Mr. Asif Muhammad that the information he was providing with regards to an official had to be verified. Upon being presented with this information, I elected to go to the East London police station and asked the branch commander to uplift the dockets. In the usual course, if a member of the public approaches me with such information, I would either advise them to go to the police station and report the crime, or I would commence a preliminary investigation myself. In this case, however, Mr. Asif Muhammad had already laid a complaint, and he informed me that since opening the case in September, he had never been contacted by a member of the SAPS. I then decided to approach the branch commander for the East London police station and explain the situation to him. He gave me permission to uplift the dockets and make copies. I in turn undertook to update the branch commander in the event that my investigation yielded any developments. When I turn over to the paginated 5, I took it upon myself to make further inquiries as the matter involved possible police corruption, which I am empowered to investigate. This gives a member of the public an anonymous route to report information about potentially criminal conduct by a police officer, staff member, or volunteer.
Witness N.
Pardon?
When you say in paragraph 19 that you took it upon yourself to make further inquiries, and you say at the end of the sentence, that this is something which you are empowered to investigate. Please expand on that and explain what you mean by empowered to investigate.
When I say empowered to investigate, commissioners, I mean that since I am in the anti-corruption unit, we look into the abuse of entrusted power or authority for personal, financial, or potential gain, and also that corruption undermines the rule of law and erodes public trust in institutions. I am under anti-corruption, and a police officer, so I am empowered to do so.
Okay, please proceed. You are at paragraph 20 on page 5.
I also took steps to verify the information that I received from Mr. Asif. In particular, I contacted a law enforcement who I was informed had resided in the same property belonging to Mr. Belachin. I spoke to him in order to seek further information about the property and left my contact details with him. On the 22nd of December 2025, I was contacted by Mr. Belachin via a WhatsApp call and text making me to understand who he was. The WhatsApp texts are attached as X11. He communicated with me using the number.
You don't need to read the number, that's right, yes. You can continue with the sentence.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Which is the same number that Mr. Asif Muhammad has registered as Sunil.Bro on his phone.
And before we witness N, before we go to the annexure that you reference in paragraph 21, please explain to the commission why you received a phone call on the 22nd of December from Mr. Belachin. Why did he telephone you?
Remember, commissioners, I had proceeded to the law enforcement above on paragraph 20. So when I left, I had left my details with him. And I believe Sunil might have been contacted by the individual, and then he took it upon himself to confirm or to inform me of what he did.
Thank you. And if I could ask you to go to page 2 of your annexure bundle, page 2, that is annexure X 1.1.
X 1.1, I'm there.
Yes, and please describe what is that image we are looking at there?
It is an extract of a WhatsApp communication between Sunil Belachan and myself.
And you confirm that there is a telephone number right underneath that name?
That is correct.
Correct. Could I then ask you to turn to page 55 of your annexure bundle, page 55. That's under annexure X7, which we will get to later, but please go to page 55.
I'm there, Commissioners.
Thank you. And so when you say in your paragraph 21 that he communicated with me using the same number, which is the number that Mr. Asif Muhammad has registered as Sunil Bro on his phone, are you referring to the image
Yes, Commissioners.
on page 55?
This image is that of Mr. Asif, and this is how he has saved Mr. Sunil Belacham, and it is the same number that also refers to the same number that I saved differently though.
Thank you, witness N. You can then proceed to paragraph 22, please.
I thereafter managed to obtain both dockets. The assault case where Mr. Asif Muhammad is the complainant is registered as per East London CAS 436 of 9/2025 and is attached as X2. The fraud docket where Mr. Belachan is the complainant is registered as East London CAS 433 of 9/2025 and it is attached as X3.
Proceed to paragraph
Upon
22.
Upon obtaining the dockets and considering the contents, I noted that the assault docket was closed as undetected. Commissioners, if you may just note, it says that just a week later, but I have amended to say just 2 weeks later because it's not the 3rd. In fact, it's the 9th of October 2025 that the docket was filed undetected.
And for further clarification then, could you go to page 4 of your annexure bundle? That's annexure
Yes,
X2, correct?
That's correct.
Correct. And that is the East London CAS 436, which you are referring to. Is that correct?
That is correct, Commissioner.
That's the assault docket where Mr. Mohammed is the complainant.
That is correct, Commissioners.
And-
Of which at the bottom left is the stamp dated the 9th of October 2025.
And the stamp is what reads as undetected, is that correct?
That is correct.
Thank you.
So on that same page, in the middle, it seems to record the nature and description of offense. You see where I'm reading, where I'm looking?
I do, Commissioner, yes.
Yeah. What is that? What does it say?
The nature and description of the offense is abbreviated ASGBH, which refers to assault with grievous bodily harm.
With intent to do grievous bodily harm.
Pardon, thank you, Chairperson, with intent to cause grievous bodily harm, yes.
Thank you, witness N. While still on page 4, would you please read You've just described to the commissioners what the nature and description of the offence is. Do you see the column right on the right of that titled Crime Code?
That is correct.
And the column immediately to the right of that titled Nature of Property/Injuries?
Yes, Commissioners.
Could you read what is filled out underneath there, please?
It is written loose teeth and bleeding nose.
Thank you, Witness N. You are now at paragraph 24 of your statement on page 6.
Yes, Commissioners. I met with Mr. Asif Mohammed and updated him on these developments. He was disappointed with the outcome and shared more information with me about the background of his relationship with Mr. Billiton, with the hope that he could still seek justice. In January 2026, he prepared a statement which I attach as X4.
You can proceed.
The upshot of this statement.
Please proceed, Witness.
The upshot of the statement is that he arrived in South Africa in 1998 as an undocumented immigrant from Pakistan. In order to survive, he started a small shop and where he sold wares in East London along with other Pakistani nationals. Sometime during the year 2000, he was pulled over by Mr. Billiton for driving without a license. Mr. Billiton demanded a bribe from him and he paid it. A few months thereafter, Mr. Billiton began extorting money from Mr. Asif Mohammed as well as other Pakistani shopkeepers in the area. Mr. Billiton did so because he knew that many of them were undocumented immigrants or that they were operating businesses without permits. They paid him so as not to be raided by the police. He had borrowed money from Mr. Billiton at exorbitant rates, and even after paying Mr. Billiton back, Mr. Billiton continued to demand more money from him. He also explained that Mr. Billiton participated in unlawful activities, such as selling counterfeit cigarettes, and that Mr. Billiton had assisted some Pakistani nationals to obtain fraudulent South African identity documents in exchange for money.
Witness N.
Pardon?
Witness N.
Yes, okay.
Yes, you reference annexure X4 in paragraph 25.
Yes, I did.
Thank you. Could you turn to page 27 then of your annexure bundle?
Yes, I'm there.
And please confirm that that is the affidavit of Mr. Asif Mohammed, whose contents you refer to in paragraph 26.
Affirmative, Commissioners. This is the affidavit.
Thank you.
May I proceed with the statement?
Yes, Witness N, you are now on page 7, paragraph 27.
Mr. Asif Mohammed further shared with me that Mr. Billiton routinely exploited other Pakistani nationals who were desperate for money. He introduced me to two of his acquaintances who provided statements in support of this. I'm not going to read the name.
Yes, please do not read the name, and we've redacted those, but please just continue with the content of your statement there.
Okay. The particular individual prepared a statement where he shared details that he borrowed 20,000 Rand from Mr. Billiton of interest of 3,000 Rand per week. Mr. explained that he gave his car to Mr. Billiton to keep until he repaid the loan. When the guy was unable to repay the loan, he contacted Mr. Billiton, requesting the car back so that he can sell it and repay him. But Mr. Billiton refused and instead sold the car himself and kept all the money. His statement is attached as X5.
Can I ask you at that juncture, witness N, to please go to annexure X5? It is on page 30 of your annexure bundle. Page 30.
Yes, that is the statement.
And can you confirm? Thank you.
Confirmed. Another individual prepared a statement confirming the above account of the guy who sold the vehicle, who gave the vehicle back, and his statement is attached as X6.
Please turn to page 32 of your annexure bundle and confirm that that is the statement you are referencing in paragraph 27.2.
I do confirm that is the statement.
Please proceed, witness N.
In that same engagement, Mr. Asif Mohammed explained to me that he fears for his life as Mr. Belochan regularly demands money from him and that he has received WhatsApp texts from Mr. Belochan asking him to pay his money back or else he will kill him.
And witness N, what did you understand as with reference to the statement that Mr. Belochan regularly demands money from him? Why was money being demanded from Mr. Asif Mohammed?
I understood this to be some kind of a protection fee, commissioners, that Mr. Belochan was extorting from this individual.
And your basis for that understanding stems from?
It stems from the provided bank statement from the victim, which depicts regular payments, weekly or 2 days apart or 3 days apart of exorbitant amounts.
Witness N, perhaps before we go to those bank statements, in the paragraph immediately thereafter, in paragraph 29, you deal with the issue of the WhatsApp conversations. Perhaps address that paragraph and then let's continue from there, please.
He shared a printout of the WhatsApp conversation, which I attached as X7. A reading of the messages reveals a pattern of Mr. Belochan repeatedly demanding money from Mr. Asif Mohammed, and threats to him are highlighted. He also provided extracts.
Witness N, before we get to paragraph 30, you reference annexure X7 in paragraph 29. You see that?
X7, yes, I do.
Could I ask you to go to page 33 of your annexure bundle, page 33?
Yes, I'm there, commissioners.
And where did you source this document?
It was Mr. Asif Mohammed himself who gave me this printout.
Thank you.
From his cell phone and the conversations between himself and Sunil.
And witness, and this document is quite a voluminous document, but in certain places, certain aspects of the document have been highlighted. I'll take you, for example, to page 46.
Yes. Where it says, I will kill you.
The pink highlight on page 46.
That is correct.
Do you see the date there? Could you read the date and the time?
The date is the 21st of August, 2025 at 17:25.
And the sender of the message is?
It is written Sunil.brew.
And this is the individual the screenshot that you referred to earlier on page 55.
That is correct.
And in your witness statement, you indicate that this is an extract provided to you by Mr. Asif Mohammed of his WhatsApp chats with Mr. Belochan. Is that correct?
That is correct, yes.
And who presented this highlight in the texts? Who made these markings in the WhatsApp chats?
when Asif pointed out, I then highlighted as he pointed out because I did ask him to show me when exactly and where does he state certain averments were made.
And so if in your reference in paragraph 29 to saying that there was regular demands of money and threats to him are highlighted, those are the highlights you refer to here.
Yes, Commissioner.
So if we turn to page 49, for example, page 49 of your annexure bundle.
49. Yes.
There is a highlight there in the middle of the page.
I see that, which is the 11th of September 2025.
And please read what the message says and who is the sender according to your understanding.
The message is written at 16:23 by Sunil Brew, and it says, "My people are looking for you."
Thank you, Witness N. There are numerous continuations of the highlights that you've indicated you made. And when you were presented with the extract of this communication, what did Mr. Asif Mohammed say the purpose was? What did he intend to show you by providing these WhatsApp chats to you?
He wanted to prove that the reason for him to fear for his life by the threats made by an enforcement law officer, and that he claims to be killing him, with the threats amounting with it escalated towards the violence that was promised to him.
And on that score, could you turn to page 53 of that annexure X7, page 53?
I'm there.
And do you see the highlighted text on page 53?
I do, yes.
Could you read the first highlighted text into the record?
The first is on the 26th of September 2025 at 11:24. Sunil Bro text, "Dies, comma, your crook bastard."
And the next highlight?
The next highlight is still on the 26th of September 2025 at 11:32, where Sunil Bro texts, "You must die in the streets. You are rotten. Muslim bastard. God knows you are a crook. You a crook. That's why you suffer. You," I don't know. I cannot.
Thank you, Witness N. Thank you. And that date of the 26th of September 2025, that date is one day before the assault that Mr. Asif relayed to you he was the victim of. Is that correct?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, before both cases were opened, including the fraud that was opened by Sunil.
Witness N, you are now, let's go back to your witness statement. At the bottom of page 7, you deal with the issue of the bank statements at paragraph 30.
He also provided bank extracts showing the transaction between himself and Mr. Billigen, and I attached this as X8.
Could we please go to annexure X8 in your annexure bundle? It starts on page 56.
Yes, I am there.
Could I ask you to explain how you sourced this document and what it is?
Mr. Asif Mohammed explained that he has a Capitec account, of which he gave the account number, and when I asked him for the transactions, he then brought along this printout, which is from his bank app. And
so if we turn to page 57 of Annexure X8. Could you explain what that is? At the top of the page is a blue box. Could you read the content of that? It says pay
The 7 Commissioner depicts the account number that Asif stated to be of Sunil Beluchan business account for Nedbank.
And how would one interpret the figures below there?
There's a total which is written on top, and he states that is the transactions he made to that account, which amount to 203,099 rands, 0.88 cents.
And the entries beneath that?
Those are the transactions that are made with those dates.
And witness N, if we turn over to page 58.
Yes, Commissioner.
And please explain what is the content of that blue box at the top of the page, as well as the information beneath that.
That blue box, Commissioners, depict the account of Sunil Beluchan, which is his normal account that was given to Asif Mohammed by him. So he had 2 different accounts, one business account and this one, but both of them are Nedbank.
And the transactions beneath that?
And below that, the total of the transactions made is 84,000 rand, 84,300.
And witness N, the bank statements provided are also quite comprehensive. I won't take you through all of them. I'll ask you to draw some observations based on the entries themselves. If I ask you, if you could please turn to page 61 of Annexure 8.
61 years. I am there.
Do you see that there are certain markings on the page?
That is correct.
Could you please explain to the Commission what those markings indicate, what relevance they have?
As he submitted this bank extract, I wanted to understand where and how will I identify the transactions that he was talking about. And as he pointed out, I would take some of those transactions that he mentioned.
And so am I correct in saying that the bank statement was presented to you by Mr. Asif Mohammed?
That is correct.
He then pointed out certain transactions to you relating to deposits made in favor of Mr. Beluchan.
That is correct.
And the markings we see on the statement are markings by you based on the conversation with Mr. Asif Mohammed.
That's correct, Commissioners. Some are highlighted and some are just marked by a pen.
And witness in having been placed in possession of the WhatsApps and the bank statements, what complaint or what was Mr. Asif Mohammed communicating? What point was he making to you by providing you with the WhatsApp extracts as well as the bank transactions?
He was explaining the kind of abuse that he is faced, as well as the extortion. So with me asking for the proof for him to submit in order to gather the evidence, this was indeed concluded to amount to criminal activities.
And perhaps for clarification, what did you understand the purpose of these payments to have been? You've taken us through them in some detail and provided the statements in their totality. But what did Mr. Asif Mohammed tell you was the purpose of these payments?
Some commissioners of the payments are that of rent. And then the other transactions are that when he says he had borrowed a certain amount of money from Mr. Sunil Beluchan and he would charge an interest. But the interest here shows to have been paid exorbitantly. It does not amount or equate to, if you do the calculation, it becomes more than that. So I drew an inference to say this could have been protection fees because of what he narrated to me.
So if in certain parts of what Mr. Mohammed told you, he acknowledged that he paid rent to Mr. Beluchan, and in certain instances he borrowed money from you, was an exercise done in order to attempt to determine what exactly, which transactions specifically he claims were with reference to the payment of so-called protection fees, as you say?
Not entirely, Commissioners, because there are no contract details. So with just these amounts appearing, it can only be deducted with the bare information that is in front of us. But it would need a proper investigation into the matter to subpoena the bank for the bank accounts in order to be able to calculate and be able to do a proper analysis.
Okay, witness in, that is the conclusion of paragraph 7, page 7. Could I ask you to...
Maybe before you move off the WhatsApps, witness, I just want to get your overall view of what was going on, the nature of the relationship between the complainant and Mr. Beluchan. Now, the WhatsApp texts that you have here in the transcript, and I'm going to pick paragraphs quite randomly and then ask you a question. If you turn to page 35. I want to start there, but I'm being random. There's a lot of this throughout this document, but I'm going to read and then propose to you what it looks like and get your comment. So at paragraph 35, this is on the, is it 0708-2025 at 10:11.
Yes, Commissioner Bale, I'm there.
Okay, so there Sunil Bruce says, I'm in so much that you won't believe. I'm so sick from stress. I can fall. I didn't eat whole day yesterday and today from stress. That's the one. And then go to page 36. At 0708-25-1857, Sunil Bruce says, I downloaded all the messages. You are making me a fool and a liar. My name is rotten because of you. My account is so bad. No one in my family even wants to borrow me money because you never paid them back. Everyone doesn't call me or Zaira because of you. I sold my mother's jewelry because of you. And then in the same page, you go towards the bottom, 0708-2025-1917. You see where I am?
I do see.
Sunil Bruce,
yes,
says, what about Enzo and Leon? You worried about you. What about me? Tomorrow, if I don't get the 25K to pay them, I'll make sure I will F up everyone that F'd up my life. And then the next page, I'm going to read for you. You don't have to keep up with me, but I just want to, it makes my point. The next page at page 37, 0808-25-1414, every promise you make, I tell Enzo and Leon, now they're telling everyone I'm a crook and running away with their money. And maybe I can stop there. There's a lot of the same thing as the one that I've just read now. Now, it seems to suggest that Mr. Beluchan may firstly, they have a relationship where they are lending money to each other with the complainant, one, but two, that in fact, Mr. Beluchan is also getting money from other people. So sort of like a money lending scheme that involves other people such as Enzo and Leon that is complaining that they think is running away with their money. In your investigation, if you have already gotten to that point, what's your overall impression of what Mr. Belashon is involved with?
Commissioner Baloyi, yet I have not gone through to those people, but my conclusion to this kind of relationship was that it's not a proper relationship, because it's either they are loan sharks or there is this kind of protection fee, as I've stated before, because there is this lending of money to and fro. And then when the payment comes back, it does not come necessarily to that amount that was borrowed.
Yes.
It's a fee, kind of, if I can explain it that way.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Witness N, perhaps to tie up this point, could I ask you to go to page 27 of your annexure bundle, page 27.
Commissioners, I'm there.
That's annexure X4.
Correct.
And this is the affidavit you referenced earlier as being made by Mr. Asif Mohammed. Could I ask you to turn to paragraph 3 there, please?
Yes, I'm there.
Could you read paragraph 3?
In the year 2014, he was suspended from work.
Just hold on for me,
Then
please. Just hold on. Could I ask you to start at paragraph 2?
Okay. After 4 to 5 months, he approached to raid my shop.
I apologize,
and
witness N. Could you start at paragraph 2?
Start
with I was stopped. Yes, please.
Oh, okay. I was stopped by an Indian police officer stationed at Duncan Village.
Paragraph 2 of... thank you.
Commissioner Baloyi, we're on page 27. Thank you. Annexure X4. Paragraph 2, you can continue, witness in.
I was stopped by an Indian police officer stationed at Duncan Village at the time by the name Sunil Belachan back in the year 2000. When I was driving without a license, he asked me to give him 100 rands, and I did. After 4 to 5 months, he approached to raid my shop and asked for 500 rands, and I made a plan and gave him. He would do the same to all my neighboring shops and ask me to tell my friends to make a plan, and I did. He therefore never arrested us. This went on for some years.
Thank you, witness. Thank you, witness N. You indicated in paragraph 8 that when Mr. Mohammed was introduced to you, the complaint was that he, along with several other Pakistani shop owners, were being extorted. Having listened to what you read in paragraphs 2 and 3, have you come to a point in your investigation where you've determined or in the process of determining whether the complaint made by Mr. Asif Mohammed is limited to him or whether there are other shop owners who have a similar complaint to him?
No, Commissioners, it is beyond Asif Mohammed coming forth. It's a big, there's other exploited foreigners.
And how would you know that? Have you interviewed them? Have they approached you? What's the basis for saying that there are other shop owners in the position of Mr. Asif Mohammed?
Beside just the two that submitted their statements, there is, unfortunately, Commissioners, it did not make it to my statement, but I do undertake to provide the Commission should a need arise. There is an article dated 2014, December 30, from the Daily Dispatch, whereby Mr. Bulletin was arrested on a sting operation by the DPCI officers for the very same conduct, whereby he was soliciting 30,000 rand from his father's shop owner, who only raised 27,000 rand, and promised to pay him the outstanding amount of 3,000 rand on a Saturday, which is then the day that he was apprehended when that 3,000 rand transaction took place.
But you confirm that that article that you're referencing is not part of your statement at present?
No, it's not part of the...
And you provide that to us?
That is correct, Commissioners, yes.
Thank you. And witness in, you had just dealt with paragraph 30 of your statement, which then brings you to paragraph 31 on page 8.
Yes, Commissioners. Mr. Asif Muhammad remained quite adamant that he wanted some assistance. In particular, he asked me as a law enforcement officer, how can a person who is a wanted suspect with a J50 warrant of arrest work for an organization such as IDAC? I asked him what was he talking about, and he then showed me an article displaying that a warrant for arrest was issued for Mr. Bellerton, which was as per Pretoria West CAS 97 of 5/2021, which I attached the article as X9.
Witness in, please then turn to Annexure X9, that is on page 115 of the Annexure bundle. Annexure X9.
Page 115. Correct, on that, Commissioners.
And is that the article that you are referring to in paragraph 31?
Indeed, this is the article.
Ms. Witness, maybe you look at page 116. It looks like that's where it starts. If it is the same document.
Witness.
Yes, Commissioner.
Yes, please. Could you please turn the page over to 116?
Yes, Commissioner. I am there, 116.
Could you read the heading of that picture of the document laying there?
The heading states IDAC appoints a wanted suspect.
And if you look at the bottom of the page, do you see that last paragraph there?
Yes, I do.
And if you flip the page to page 117?
Yes.
Could you explain if this is one news article or two?
No, it's one.
And which page does it begin on?
It begins on the second page, 116, as Commissioner Baloyi stated, because on top it says the person who published it and the days. And then the second page is supposed to be 115 and the last page be 117.
The second page is 115?
Correct.
Even though it has a heading on the top?
That's correct. This is how the victim had brought it to me, so that is why I concluded it's one article, Commissioners. I may stand to be corrected.
But on a reading now of page 115, in light of the boldness of the heading there, do you see the heading on page 115?
Oh yes, pardon me for that. It reads two different headings. The other on 115 reads a heading of corruption allegations prompt parliamentary inquiry focused towards some IDAC officials.
And the heading on page 116 reads?
The heading on 116 reads IDAC appoints a wanted suspect.
Can we focus on page 116? Because it deals with the contents of your paragraph 31.
Yes, Commissioner, I'm there.
Are you able to give the date of that article?
The date of the article is, it says, published 2 days ago, 19 July 2025.
And the first paragraph there starts in a startling revelation?
Yes, that is correct.
Please read that.
In a startling revelation, the Investigations Directorate Against Corruption, which is IDAC, has appointed Sunil Bellichan as a senior investigating officer despite him having a warrant for his arrest for alleged fraud. The circumstances surrounding his disappointment raise serious concerns regarding accountability and transparency within the entity.
Could I ask you to read the following paragraph that starts the case against?
The case against Bellichin was opened by a former police officer, James Ramanjalam. I cannot pronounce that. Pardon me.
Please continue.
Who opened a case, a docket of fraud at Pretoria West, CAS 97 of 5/2021. Following the lodging of the complaint, a warrant for Bellichin's arrest was issued, yet he remains at large, further complicating the trust vested in IDAC and the South African Police Services.
We can note the contents of the paragraph immediately thereafter, but could I please ask you to read the final paragraph on page 116?
Says, according to a sworn statement from investigating officer David Mashaba,
Continue.
his attempts to arrest Bellichin were thwarted by fraud and money laundering charges in 2018 and lodged a complaint in 2020.
It looks as if the page immediately thereafter doesn't follow the sequence of this article. Could
I
I?
note that, Commissioner.
From here?
That's it. It looks
Does
like
it not? Does it not?
Start at 115. Go back to
I'm saying 117, is it not a continuation from 116? It seems to read well or not? Not well, not at all.
it looks like we have two different articles and both of them are incomplete.
That might be the case, Commissioner Kumalo, please.
Because 117 could belong to either, but it doesn't follow. You know, when you read 115 separately, 117 looks like it's out of context. And it's the same with 116.
Agreed. I agree with that, Commissioner Kumalo. Perhaps the point being made, Witness N, is that you were provided with an article by Mr. Asif Mohammed. That's what you say in paragraph 31, correct?
That is correct.
And the article, according to your paragraph 31, makes reference to a Pretoria West CAS 97 of 05/2021. Have you had regard to that docket?
I just recently had sight of it, Commissioners.
And so what you attach at X9 is what you were provided by Mr. Mohammed, is that correct?
That is correct.
115.
And Chairperson, we can confirm that the docket referred to in paragraph 31 was obtained by the Commission and it is included in the exhibit bundle in its totality. The witness indicated that she only recently had come to be in possession of it and it was secured and included in the exhibit bundle as CJC 369.1. Witness N, you are at paragraph 32 of your statement?
Yes, Commissioners. After receiving these statements and after discussion with my superiors, I opened an inquiry as per Eastern Cape PCOM 04 of 6/2026, wherein these matters have been registered for further investigations. Upon opening this inquiry, I intend to take up the following steps, which is to compile a Section 205 application for the bank account numbers provided to me, request the history of the vehicle ownership registration for the Nissan Captiva, and therefore analyze all the evidence. Thereafter, register a case docket.
And with reference to your paragraph 33.2, when you say you intend to request the history for the vehicle ownership registration. Is that a reference to the content of the affidavit you cite in your witness statement about the car that was sold?
That is correct, Commissioners.
Thank you, witness N. Chairperson, those are our questions for witness N.
Thank you very much, witness N. You are excused.
Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you, Chair.
We resume at 9:30 on Monday.
On Monday, yes, Chair.
Let's adjourn.